YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another reaction video. We have Muse today, and one that I'm actually very excited for. Uprising, live from Manchester. I'm excited. I'm excited for today's reaction for two reasons. First of all, and let me context before I get into this for anyone who's just joining us, who hasn't seen any of my previous Muse reactions, of which there are so far only two. I know a decent amount of Muse, which is why I'm doing the live stuff. I know a lot of the bigger songs and the more well-known songs. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of mixing it up a little bit. I'm still covering some studio songs, studio versions of songs I haven't heard, which we did with Newborn recently. But that I have been informed when I did Newborn that they are one of the greatest live bands of all time. Some people even go as far as to say the greatest, their favourite, etc, etc. So, as someone who has never seen them do any live performances, that's the journey we're going on. I'm doing some studio versions if I haven't heard the song, or I'm going to cover some live versions. And the reason why I'm excited for today's, aside from the fact that Uprising is a song that I'm familiar with and is an absolute banger, we have live from Manchester today, and if anyone doesn't know, despite what the flag behind me may have you believe, that's where I'm from. I'm from Manchester. I was born here. I grew up here. I've lived here my whole life. The flag, like I said, may not have you believe that. My accent probably more would have you believe that. This is live from LCCC, which I believe is a Lancashire County Cricket Club, which I think more colloquially would be referred to as Old Trafford Cricket Ground, the ground itself, which is somewhere, if this is right, I think that's Lancashire County Cricket Club. It's somewhere that I've been to a couple of times. Admittedly, not a huge cricket fan myself. Although, to be fair, I think from my Twitter timeline today, from what I could tell, England got whooped by India today, so I don't think many Englishmen are overly fond of cricket right now. That said, I don't know when this video is going to go up, so that'll be a little bit of a dated thing. But I have been to Old Trafford Cricket Ground a couple of times. I've also been to the football ground, obviously, to when the boys have been up. So I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for Uprising. My boy Josh, apparently, he was telling me how he saw these guys live, and he left a little bit early to beat the rush, which is something that I do as well. And he missed Uprising and was gutted. So Josh, we'll watch it together. Let's watch Uprising live from Manchester. Anytime I get to watch any performance that took place in my city, you know I'm going to be there. You know I'm here for the live from Manchester reactions. So I was excited as soon as someone recommended this one. I was like, hell yeah, how could I not? 2010, LCCC, Old Trafford Cricket Ground. Let's kick it. That guitar has two necks. Who is this? It's the lights, the weird pattern on the drums. Just the spectacle of it all, you know? Yeah, I've been in that building on the left there. Filming something. I like that he's using the two necks for two different things. So he's playing the bottom one now, but then the top one earlier he was... I don't even know what the term for it is. I'm really like eyeing up the stage design. Look at all those people. Okay, let me pause it here. Obviously, we've got to at some points anyway, and I know it's about to kick in. That stage design is like, it's tripping me out because I can't tell how big it actually is. It looks massive, But then I can't tell the bits on the left and the right are like mirror. No, that crowd stretches the whole way. It's been so long since I've been to the cricket ground. I can't like, and this is the problem with doing a local thing. I'm trying to like, it's such a weird thing to focus on. But the stage design is just insane. It just looks awesome. It looks dope. Are those screens above it? And then it looks like mirrors, or it's like the inside of a disco ball or some shit. It's wild, but it's tripping me out. I can't even like really tell what I'm looking at. And also this, I swear, the cricket ground isn't this big. This is so much bigger than I remember it being. And I haven't been to the cricket ground in years. I've been to Old Trafford as recently as like 3 months before the start of the pandemic. The cricket ground I haven't been to forever. But the stage design, beautiful. Oh, we're buffering. Even the mic sounds different. Like an arm. So I feel like I'm not contributing much reaction-wise to this one. But it's kind of, I'm just taking it in, especially when you know the song already. Kind of just taking it in. Dude, bro, tell him. This is someone in the car just going. Oh, I always loved that little. See, I bet this is one that's like, it hits really hard live. See, it's like the lights are like inside divots. See up there in the ceiling? Lancashire. Yeah, that's where that is. Dude, yeah, that was. I was gonna say that. I bet that's one of those that's like really sick live when everyone's kind of singing together and stuff, and it's one of those that doesn't necessarily like come through, in the moment. Like you can tell that it's dope, but it doesn't like, hit the same when you're watching it. But I bet live it's one of those things where it's like they're probably just a great one to experience, right? Just being there, because you can watch it, It's probably the same with Plugin Baby the last time. You can watch it and be like, what a performance, you know, he's hitting all the notes right, but also he's like putting his own little spin on it. Like, it sounds great, you know, they've got the stage presence, people are into it. You can say all of those things and you can get all of those things from the video, but then you're not necessarily going to feel it the same way unless you're probably stood there in that crowd and it's just going to like hit you. And like the way their sound is constructed, it's probably going to, you can kind of just only imagine like how it's gonna, because they are a weird sounding band sometimes. They get a little bit, they do all sorts of crazy stuff. So I can only imagine how like hearing it all around you and everyone's singing and you got all like the weird, like all the synths going on and all that shit. It probably sounds dope, man. It probably sounds dope. It's probably such like an experience to be a part of. Yeah, them lot out in Lancashire, them Lancs, 2017. Oh, that was just someone. But yeah, no, I'm just scanning the comments. I really like Resistance from that album. It's probably it's one of my favorite Muse songs, maybe my favorite Muse song. Okay, 312. Someone said go Bulbasaur. 312. Go Bulbasaur. Oh, is that when he was yelling? Is that what he said? That's probably not what he said. Well, is that what it sounded like? It does kind of sound. It does kind of sound like he says "Go Bulbasaur." I'll give you that. It did kind of sound like he said "Go Bulbasaur." My favorite Pokemon, by the way. Just a little side note. We're talking about Bulbasaur now. Yeah, but it was sick. It was a good. The stage design again. I still don't really know what I'm looking at. There's like screens coming out that meet at a 90-degree angle. I don't know what's going on up there on those things. And then like in the roof like comes up a little bit so you can see the underside of the roof, like the ceiling of it, and then the lights are all in little divots. I just love that. I really appreciate when artists in live shows put a lot of thought into the stage design. And obviously there's a budget question of that sometimes. You know, you go to a lot of gigs like, you know, if we're talking in Manchester terms, like the Academy or whatever, where it's like a stage in a basement. And it's like there's only so much you can do with that, right? So sometimes it's a budget thing. But I do like that. You know, when you're doing a big show like this, obviously there's a lot of money coming into the show, right? Because tickets are quite expensive and there's just so many people there. So I like when they put that into the show and they put the effort into the thought into the stage design and like the show of it. Not just, obviously it's mostly about the music, but not just the music. To kind of put the whole show together, it really feels like that they, as an act, as a group, they care about the show that they're putting on and not just, you know, showing up to sing their songs and bounce. Like they do really care about the product and the experience that they're providing for everyone. That said, go Manchester, love to Manchester. Shout out to Old Trafford for being Sonny's dance floor. And shout out to any cricket fans who are mourning today. I don't know, I didn't even I just looked at Twitter and people were complaining about the cricket. I don't know. Not a cricket person, but anyway, regardless, that was great. I want to do... there were some particular ones I had that I wanted to come up next. So basically, keep throwing suggestions at me, either for any live performances you want me to check out, or any studio songs either. Just throw suggestions at me. But there was, I can't remember exactly which couple, but I remember in the last episode I mentioned I could see the grand piano and I could actually see it in the background there as well. So I was like, oh, I want to check out some more of their piano stuff. And people left comments saying, hey, if you want to hear some of the piano stuff, here's ones you should check out. So I do have those, and if you're someone who left a comment on the last one, I've got them stacked up. When I saw Manchester, I had to do it. Because that's just exciting. And this makes sense actually, because this is probably one of the biggest you could do over here, barring something like, you know, Hyde Park or whatever, or because Manchester Arena only has like 22,000 in it. Anyway, listen, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. As I said, keep the suggestions coming always. Thank you for joining me today. And the sun's starting to set, so I'm going to wrap this one up here and record some stuff for one of my other channels. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Later.